So I just got out of seeing Doctor Sleep, which I was lucky enough to get to see early because of a Fandango early screening on October 30th today. I got to see it instead of waiting all the way till November 7th. Now that doesn't sound like a long time in between for some people, but for someone like me who can't wait an extra damn minute, this was a treat. This was one of my most anticipated films of the year. Not only am I a massive Shining fan, a massive Stephen King fan, but I'm also a giant Mike Flanagan fan. So for those of you who do not know what this is the sequel to The Shining. Now, Stephen King was not a big fan of Kubrick's version, and so because of that, Mike Flanagan was tasked kind of with something that was very tough, and that was he knew there's a lot of fans of the film, obviously, and the majority of the people who are probably going to see the film in the theater are really only familiar with the Kubrick version of events. But because of the major changes that Kubrick made, the book that Stephen King wrote, called Doctor Sleep as well, had some differences that couldn't really be put into the film if you were going to make it a direct sequel to Stanley Kubrick's film. So he had a very tough task. He wanted to please the fans of the novel, and he wanted to please fans of the book. And man, I thought he did just a fantastic job trying to appease both of those sides. Now, I have read the novel, Doctor Sleep, but I am not a traditionalist. I'm okay with changes, and I completely understand why the changes that were made here were made. I was so happy with this film. It plays on your nostalgia, no doubt about it. But I will say this. I think that even though I haven't seen anyone's reviews or anyone's thoughts on the film yet, where I think some people, and I think most of these will be book people, but even maybe some film fans as well, I think that they will find the third act a little too heavy-handed and almost a little too poetic with some kind of full circle symbolisms. If I don't want to get into spoilers with this at all, but I saw that. I was good with it. I was very pleased with how everything wrapped up. I thought the performances from Ewan McGregor and Rebecca Ferguson and everybody else was fantastic. The film is beautifully shot. The cinematography, of course, is going to be fantastic. This is a high production valued film with a fabulous director helming this project. And I was, as a Shining fan, as somebody who was a fan of all of Mike Flanagan's work, as a fan of Stephen King, I really feel like all those sides of me were serviced. Like, I just felt when I was watching the movie, it's just like, man, I'm getting everything that I need from the book. All the characters feel like the characters from the novel. But I'm also feel like I'm getting a proper sequel to Stanley Kubrick's film. Now, speaking on Stanley Kubrick's movie for a minute, I don't want people to think that this film's going to feel like Kubrick's film, because it doesn't. It very much feels like a Mike Flanagan movie, which is a good thing in my opinion. But if you're going in and you're expecting a film that has that same kind of artistic aesthetic to it, it's a different experience. But it still lives within that world. And there's plenty of connectivity. There was a lot of surprises in there for me. There was a lot of moments where I was like, oh, wow, okay, this is where we're going. Okay, I'm okay with that. And that's where I feel like some of the heavy handing complaints might come in. But I didn't mind it. It didn't feel overbearing. And as far as would a person like this movie if they knew nothing of The Shining and this was the first movie that they saw in this, in this series. It's only 2 movies, but if they only saw this and didn't see The Shining, could they walk into this and enjoy it? Yeah, I think so. They build the characters well enough. Now, of course, you're going to get the full experience having seen The Shining before this. I really genuinely can't imagine people going to see this without without knowing The Shining at all. But it is very, it is very possible. And for that, I will say that I think that they will know enough. They do build the characters strong enough. I was very invested in the majority of the characters in this. Some are kind of throwaway background characters, but you can only focus on so much. And to that effect, this is a very thick novel, a very, very dense novel. There's only so much you can do in a film. That's why a lot of people option for television series these days, because you just have more time to breathe. You have more time to flesh things out. You have more time to explore things. And with a film, you've got a very short amount of time comparatively to the length of a television series, whether it's 1 season or more. But in this 2.5 hour, I think is what it was, 2.5 hour runtime, I was never bored. It took a little bit to get going, but because of my excitement, and I wouldn't want to call it boring because that's not what it was, it's a patient movie. It takes its time. It builds and it builds and it introduces you to a character you haven't seen in a very long time. And this is a much different character. Danny Lloyd has grown up and he's got demons. And there will be some surprise characters. There will be some surprise elements for you, even if you've read the book. It's like, oh, okay, here we are. All right. And man, I was so damn happy with this. It's, of course, nerve-wracking going in as a fan of the original film, of the books, all that stuff. But for me, now take that with a grain of salt, because I'm not the person, as I'd said, I'm not the traditionalist. I'm not the person that's like, oh, well, they have to do this, and oh, wow, they did that, and that offends me, or whatever. That's not me. As long as it's presented well, and it's structured well, and it's a good time, and it's entertaining, and it pays enough homage and is respectful to the Kubrick classic, but also does a good service to the novel as well, which, man, for Mike Flanagan to be able to juggle that and be able to be successful even at all is incredible. But for me, I thought he knocked it out of the park. Now, I am a Mike Flanagan fanboy. I have enjoyed all 6 of his movies, now 7, and his television series. The guy can do no wrong to me at this point. He's my go-to horror director. He's my sure thing, so to speak. And he delivered exactly what I, had hoped. And I'm very, very happy. I'm so glad that I now have a wonderful companion piece to include after my viewing of The Shining from 1980, which is a film that I've seen as much as any other film. And now I have something that fits right in with it, in my opinion, and will always be a great double feature. So I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did, and I will be looking forward to seeing what the overall consensus of it is and to see if I'm right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope everyone has the same kinds of feelings I did, but, there's always going to be the detractors, and that's, that is what it is. But other than that, guys, I know you got a little wait. I know it's, a week or so out, so that sucks, but it's worth the wait. You should enjoy it. Get excited. All right. Adios.